Chapter 3. The Department of Time Affairs and the Parrot Who Would Be King. Promogenics didn't realize they had broken the world until a Tuesday, which ironically happened 3 times that week. In the span of 7 non-sequential hours, time travel-enabled customers had erased the concept of left-handedness, the 1994 Winter Olympics, and all known recipes for lentil soup. For reasons no one could explain, every time traveler also seemed to reappear wearing slightly too small cowboy boots and muttering about the cheese protocols. Governments worldwide panicked. The United Nations attempted to hold an emergency session to regulate time travel, but due to overlapping timelines, everyone showed up on different days. The Brazilian delegate kept insisting it was Monday, while the Canadian ambassador had already filed their closing statement last week. The U.S. government fared no better. The president, who had started the week as a war veteran from Kansas, was now a Civil War reenactor named Dale, who had accidentally time-looped his way into office during a state fair corn maze. Congress tried to form the Committee on Chrono Regulation and Temporal Ethics, COCRATE, but disbanded halfway through when everyone time-traveled past the deadline and forgot what they were voting on. One senator became a baby mid-filibuster. Another argued that time travel should be outlawed retroactively, by which he meant before it had been invented, which unfortunately erased his own political career and replaced him with a potted plant named Douglas, who polled very well. Worse still, no politician could get elected anymore. Voters simply jumped to the future to see if their candidates kept their promises, and when they discovered that 98% of them didn't, campaign rallies turned into mass pie-throwing events. One senator was pelted with a rhubarb crumble so hard it sent him back to 1978. In desperation, the U.S. formed the Department of Time Affairs, but no one wanted to run it. That is, until a clerical error activated an old backup file from the 1776 Electoral Registry and re-elected a sentient parrot. Commodore Crackerbake, a highly literate African gray who had once belonged to Benjamin Franklin's neighbor's cousin's dentist, was declared director of the department by unanimous accident. His first executive action was to squawk, "Polly want continuity," and eat the budget. Surprisingly, Crackerbake was an effective bureaucrat. His attention span was short, but his ability to deliver biting critique while standing on a perch made him a natural fit for government television. His press conferences went viral. Schools began teaching children how to caw respectfully in his presence. Congress responded by passing a resolution that all future time travel debates be held in Squawklish. Meanwhile, back at Promogenics HQ, which was fully protected by time insulators and therefore as calm as a Zen garden inside a bomb testing site, Devon Chase was busy trying to decide whether to license Chrono to fast food chains. "Imagine it," he said to his assistant. "You get your fries wrong, you rewind. Perfect order. Satisfaction guaranteed. Call it Chrono Chow." His assistant, who had not blinked in 6 hours due to light exposure to raw chronogel, replied, "Sir, the parrot government has demanded we appear before a multi-epical tribunal." Devon blinked. "Do we have to?" "No," said the assistant. "But they've already ruled that we're guilty in 6 possible timelines." Devon leaned back in his chair, sipped a branded Chrono latte through his flexi straw, and said, "Well, let's make it 7. Schedule a product launch party, with balloons, time-reactive ones. Sidebar, the Chrono spillover zone. Due to a calibration error, or possibly a bet between 2 bored interns, the Chrono protection field surrounding Promogenics HQ was accidentally expanded to cover a nearby donut shop and a 6-story apartment complex next door. This went mostly unnoticed at first. Then something peculiar began to happen. The donut shop, Time's Glazed Circle, began receiving its Tuesday shipment of flour, glaze, and rainbow sprinkles every single day. Somehow, Tuesday's delivery truck, guided by temporal anchors stuck in a mild loop, arrived again and again, each time thinking it was Tuesday, each time unloading the exact same order. The employees, initially confused, now operated on an infinite Tuesday schedule. They had renamed the store calendar to Tuesday, their most profitable day of the week, repeated for eternity. There were now more jelly donuts in inventory than grains of rice in the average sushi buffet. The apartment building, however, received the short end of the space-time straw. While protected from timeline changes, it also ceased receiving any daily services, No power, no mail, no Wi-Fi, no radio, no TikTok updates. And yet, perhaps cruelly or mercifully, it remained a perfect spring morning. Blue sky, 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Birds chirped from a static moment in time. The scent of blooming jasmine never faded. It was, in fact, the kind of morning that seemed to go on forever. Because it did. Residents had adapted. They grew rooftop gardens, organized endless picnics, and held recurring debates on whether this counted as heaven or a particularly lazy form of limbo. The only true downside was that every TV left running on March 12th remained stuck on a never-ending infomercial for Chrono, hosted by an increasingly twitchy man in a purple blazer screaming, "Buy it now or yesterday!"